All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name SD Hegyes. And I'm really tired, like the kind of tired that if I did not already have a stream scheduled, I might have posted it into the community tab and been like, hey guys, it's just not going to happen tonight. So yeah, I'll let Stephanie introduce herself and then we'll go from there.
All right. For anyone that is new here or watching on the rewatch, my name is Stephanie. I primarily write small town romances underneath the name Stephanie Marie Woodson. I'm currently working on a small town romance for the 7-day book challenge. I did not stream today because one, I didn't pre-schedule it, and two, I didn't like streaming. So until today or till night, anyway. That's it really. Um, I'm here supporting Skye. That's what I'm doing.
Which I appreciate because otherwise I still might have been like, sorry, y'all, I'm not doing it and gone back to sleep because I'm really, really, really tired. And I don't have a reason to be. I literally just woke up from like a 2 hour nap. I have no reason to be tired, but I am so bloody tired. I think it's the effect of. So it snowed last night, so we got all this snow on the ground, which is fantastic for someone like me who's really starting to hate the white stuff. But the other reason is that with those, the temperature's changing. Um, with all the streaming I've been doing, I'm already like, my throat's already starting to hurt from all the talking I've been doing because I'm streaming twice a day, daily. And between that and the weather, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm cooked. Screw this. So, yay. Oh, but it's not so bad. And I will get through it tonight. And I will probably, as soon as this stream ends, what I will probably do is I'll be like, peace out and go to bed. That is probably exactly what's going to happen, actually. Excuse me.
Uh, well, um, while I was waiting for the stream to start before I got on in the backstage with Skye, I finally started my next chapter. I have a little bit of the chapter written on the next one. I just didn't have the beginning written, and now I have the beginning written. So making progress. I think I could probably get this done by the end of the month, if not by the end of the 7-day challenge.
Okay.
This is a 7-day challenge. We one more day. Nope. Yeah, we have an extra day, Monday. Whatever.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure I get it done. So then I have to decide in April. Am I going to spend April editing it or working on another draft of something else? Kind of want to take a break from the story and move on to something else. Rest my eyes on it for a little bit before I go and try to change stuff. But we'll see.
I am not going to lie. I am glad that we're almost done with the 7-day book challenge because as much as I like this story, it has been a struggle to work on. And I think even though the 7-day book challenge is coming to an end, I'm going to continue working on the story if I don't finish it, which I probably won't at this point. I'm going to keep working on it until I'm finished with it, but I will not be working on it as intensively. So, like, I'll be going back down to my usual one sprint per day, and whatever I can accomplish in that sprint is how much I get done in it, and that's going to be all I do. But I'm on chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 10. I've been doing about roughly a chapter a day between the two streams, and I think I'm about halfway done with this chapter now. So maybe during this stream, I can finish that chapter. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm partway through chapter 13 out of 17. Okay. I still have like a good detail on chapter, I think 11, okay, where it's like the librarian is like showing her around this library of what she's going to do with her day, like the back end of what the library does and like checking in books and all that. That I can, it's not central to the story, but it kind of is, but I can always go back and fill it in later. So, and I'm going to go with the story that I have plotted out. All right. And we'll see how ridiculous it sounds when I'm done with it.
All right, I'm going to say hi to everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
Nadim is here. Good evening. And then Catpaw is popping in to say hi, but Catpaw says, "Happy riding, peeps. I'm going to bed. There was a solar flare earlier today, and a low magnetic storm could explain the sleepy." You know what? I am perfectly happy blaming sleepiness on something like a solar flare, whether or not it's true. I do not care. So yeah, I'm just going to blame the fact that there was a magnetic storm.
Tomorrow in the morning, there's going to be a partial solar eclipse.
Ooh, nice.
I probably won't be able to see it. It's probably going to be too cloudy here, like always, but it's going to be there for somebody to see.
Oh, good. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the first sprint just because there's no one else in the chat yet, and that will give people time to respond if they want to. And also, maybe I'm just looking for an excuse to lay my head back down for like 15 minutes. I need to wake up. So, 25 minutes. If you're new here, we tend to do 4 25-minute sprints with some chit chat in between. I like to go until I reach the end of the comments before I start the next sprint, no matter if that means I have to pause the timer before we continue working or not. And then during those sprints, I like to put writing prompts on the screen. You do not have to write those prompts if you do not want to. They're just there if you want to write but don't know what you want to write about and need some inspiration. So feel free to ignore them if you want to. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get our first prompt on the screen for today. And it says, "He was unconscious when I found him. I swear I didn't touch him." So that is our first prompt. I've got our timer already up. We're going to do 25 minutes on the clock starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that is time. Let us know how you did what you did in the comments. I took a nap.
I know. I knew that's what you did. You weren't fooling anybody. You do look
I
better
set
though.
I set a 20-minute timer and I took a power nap that I kept waking up from, paranoid that the timer had gone off and I missed it.
I've done
So
that.
so it was a very
Uh,
fretful power nap, but it was a power nap all the same. And I am not feeling guilty about it. Ah, I feel better now, actually.
so I took what I wrote a little bit ago, put it into my draft, fixed it up a little bit, and it was like 250 words.
Okay.
And now next is writing another interaction with the douchebag of the town and this girl.
Okay. I I will be writing on the next sprint. Laura joined in with us, sneaking into the chat. Hello. How did your interview go?
Should interview.
She had an interview this morning, and right as I was basically jumping off from the stream this morning, the people she was supposed to be interviewing with were late. So I
Oh,
want to know what happened. I need to know. I need to know all the drama.
right.
All of the drama. So I hope it went well. I hope everything worked out and went well. Ugly. I am.
How rude.
Hmm?
Oh, Laura's
Oh
comment came
no.
through.
Laura says they stood me up, never called me. That sucks. I am so sorry. Did they ever reach? I know you reached out to them. Okay, there we go. I messaged them and they never messaged me back. I am so sorry. That sucks. Hello, Alexis. Alex. Do you prefer Alexa or Alex? Out of curiosity, which one do you prefer?
I prefer ruler of everything. You should always listen to me, ma'am. That's my name for now on. Yes, ruler of everything. That is my name. That's why I prefer. I'm
Okay.
kidding. So kidding.
Alrighty then. I mean, whatever you say, ruler of everything.
My daughter is taking to call me birth giver, so gotta make it funny, I guess.
I love that. I love it when people like have their family members saved as various random things, hilarious things in their phones and stuff. Birth giver is something I like that is in a phone.
Alexa is fine.
All right,
Like
Alexa,
a
it is then.
wine. Sorry,
You're good.
I'm tired. Don't mind me.
It is late. It is like 11:30 for you, so no
Yes.
worries. And I figured out why I'm so tired. We're gonna blame the solar flare that Cat Paw mentioned, but I've been streaming twice a day all of this week, and today is day 5. And even that morning where I slept through alarms and um, was late, I still got on here and streamed. So between that and being in my front of my computer doing all of the random things so much this week, because even in between streams, I've been doing classwork, I've been doing other stuff that involves computer work. I have been in front of a screen almost every time I've been awake. So I feel like it's just too much screen time for me. The weather's not helping with the weather change because we went from having like 50s, 60s weather to overnight it's like in the 30s again and it's snowing. So all of that put together, I feel like A, I'm coming down sick. I can feel it. I am coming down sick with just a cold. And then B, I am so tired.
I think like just being in front of a computer, sitting in front of the computer, just drains you. And even when I was like, I was able to sit in my bed on the computer, it still drained me. Just it's physically draining. And then just to be in front of the computer, eye strain and all that, posture strain, and then to be on screen more often than you usually are, like
Yeah.
live streaming. Not live streaming is fun, but not like not saying it's not fun to do it every day, but to do it every day or even twice a day when you're not used to doing it and your body isn't used to putting on your words, lots and lots of words, and
Mhm.
interacting, that 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 is draining.
Yeah. Um, and then I was gonna add on to that. Oh, I think in the future, what I want to do is I want to stream once a day, and I definitely before like the event starts, I want to have like a better schedule of how I'm doing things because I think that's the other thing that screwed me up is the fact that um, because I work nights and my body's so used to sleeping during the day, I've had to basically retrain my body to a completely new schedule as well, and that hasn't helped. Especially since like in 2 days, I've got to go back to my normal schedule, and I'm just like, oh god, this was stupid.
I mean, I think maybe in the if when we do this again, because I know we're going to do this again, like it's just inevitable. Like you usually stream at night, so I think it would make more sense for you to stream at night, but maybe have a longer stream, like plan a 4 hour stream instead of just a 2 hour stream. If you want to have more working sprints per day on your channel, does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do next time. Is definitely just one stream, and plan for like instead of 4 sprints, which is my usual, plan for like 6 or 7 sprints. And
Right.
like you said,
Plus, it'd
just do a
be,
longer stream.
I mean, uh, it could be practice for other stuff that we might be doing at another time.
Yep. So, but we got more events planned in the future. We
Yes,
will
we
get them
do.
done. So
Yes, it'll be fun.
let's get through this weekend first. This weekend is the Author Tube Sweet Treat String Crawl. I think I have links in the description. If I don't, I will put some in the comments section during the next sprint, which will be starting soon. I'm going to go through some chat comments real quick, and then yeah. But because of that event, I am actually not streaming at my normal time Saturday evening. Stephanie is actually taking my slot because that's the one that was available to her. And I was put in the slot for Sunday morning. It is from 1 to 3 my time, which is, I think, 3 Eastern. So my time slot has been shifted from my normal regular streaming time to like 3 hours later. So it's fine. It's all good.
I mean,
I will
if
get it
Sky
done. It's just
if Sky wants to join me on my stream, so that she could practice having a long streaming period to see if she's up for it, that's totally fine too. Whatever, just throwing it out there, Sky. Love ya.
we'll see because I don't know what the plan is for tomorrow.
I,
Originally, Justin was going to go do water runs tomorrow, and because of the snow, he might not be able to. So we'll see what happens.
you don't need to do water runs. Just like collect the clean snow and have it melt. And call
Oh
it
no,
good.
we need water runs. We're sitting at like 1.5 feet of water, and when it gets to one, we start running the risk of ruining the water pump.
Okay.
So water runs have to happen at some point this weekend. It's just whether or not they're going to happen, or we're going to be shutting down Weber pipes. One of the two is going to happen. All right. Laura posted a snippet in the comment section. It says the oppressive feel of his father's magic intensified the closer they got, edging on the visible spectrum. Ethereal read. Am I reading? I feel like I've read this before. I'm having a sense of deja vu. Did you rework a snippet in the past? Whatever. Ethereal red tendrils seeped on the air, twisting sharply in repressed agitation. Not good. The double doors opened as Alarion and his mother approached, the incense-tinted air of the office wafting out to greet them. Vlad IV only lit frankincense when trying to remain calm. Alarion clenched his hands momentarily, knuckles aching, before letting them hang loose at his sides as he crossed the threshold. Okay.
That sounds familiar too. Like, but maybe it's just because we like Laura's writing. I don't know.
That's possible. Alexa said, yeah, you've been working really hard on the streams. I've been shocked to see you up some days. It has been a struggle. Tonight is one of those struggles. I'm feeling a lot better now that I've had that power nap, but we are going to be sprinting soon, and we'll see if I actually take another power nap or if I get some work done. At the risk of, Alexa also added that at the risk of sounding like a bobblehead, thinking can be exhausting on top of straining your eyes. Yes. Okay, Laura said, I need to drive my parents to the airport early in the morning. I should go to sleep soon. Laura, go to bed if you need to. I promise. It'll be fine. We do not mind.
I mean, she didn't mind when I bailed her because of the bug, so she's not gonna mind if you bail her for bed.
Yeah. I'm all for going to bed if you need to. Let's see. And Laura said it is something we've seen before. It's reworked a little. Okay, I just thought I was just having a major moment of deja vu, and thought maybe I was repeating a day and didn't even realize it. I was like, did I hit a Mandela effect? Like, is this Mandela effect? I like it. I just was really confused for a second there. Okay. All right. I have reached the end of the comments. Oh, I also need to read for a book club. Is this you're reading Curse
I think Cursed is in the title. I'm pretty sure.
by Claxon? It's the book by Claxon. Are you still reading that book? How far are you in? When do you need to finish it by? Out of curiosity, because I saw there is a stream that's going to be happening for that book over on Right Now's channel, and now I'm questioning everything. Deadcaster, I was close. And it is by Claxon, though, because now that you said the name, I know exactly which one it is. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get us set up for a sprint, another sprint. So we're on the second sprint of the evening, and this prompt for this sprint says, I dread the sound of their key in the lock. It can only mean pain and suffering are to follow, and I want neither. I never did. So that is going to be our next prompt. Laura is only 33% through it so far. That's okay. Oh, it's supposed to be finished by 1 p.m. tomorrow. Whoops. You've got this. You've got plenty of time. It's all good.
Fine.
Down to the wire. You've got this, though. So let's go ahead and do this next sprint. 25 minutes on the clock. Maybe Laura's going to do some reading during the sprint, even though she should be going to bed. We'll see. All right, let's go ahead and do this in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that's time. Let us know how you did what you did in the comments. I took a second longer because even though I pressed mute or pause on the music I was listening to, it didn't pause, so it was still playing in my ear, and I was like, excuse me? I told you to stop playing so I can hear people. Please stop playing. All right, I got words written. What'd you do?
I got some words written. I am now. She's out of the library on a busy day, not her first day. It's like her third day. She's out of the library, and now she said the last line I wrote was, "What are you doing here, Shane?"
The contempt.
And that's where the buzzer went off, and that's how I imagine her saying it. What are you doing here? That's what I got.
I wrote 353 words. I was darting back and forth in the chapter with what I was writing, so like I couldn't. My last line is a very long one that will need to be shortened later in editing, but is fine for an act now. I do not care. I finally gotten to the chapter where she's officially lost her job. And she just got told to leave the company or be escorted out by security. There's been no real explanations as to why she's lost her job. And so she's just not having a good day, and her sister's making it worse by calling her and complaining about, third world problems kind of thing. Like
So,
things that are insignificant.
okay. Did I ever tell you why this character is working at the library?
No.
Okay, so her and her family moved from a bigger town to a small town. And she's like, okay, I'm going to finish up my college classes and then transfer to this smaller college. And that's okay because I'm studying to be a nurse and they have lots of like hospitals and nursing care centers over there. And their classes are smaller, so it'll be great. So she goes and starts school and classes at this new school. And this nursing classes, the first few weeks are just like lots of learning the ins and outs and practicing like blood pressure and like how to take vitals and things of that nature. But then they're getting ready to do the practicing blood draws on each other. Okay.
Okay.
So you should be able to do a blood draw on a well person before you start practicing on sick people. In my head, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, and so she has issues with not only drawing blood but also getting blood. Like she has problems drawing other people's blood, and she has problems like seeing her own blood. But she's always been really, really healthy. She says she's never had like surgery or like broken bones or stitches to see her own blood. She said she had no idea that she had issues with her own blood.
Huh.
Okay, and like she had issues getting vaccines, but only because it hurt. But she never like passed out and hit her head on the table like she did repeatedly in the middle of nursing class. So basically, she flailed out of nursing school because she can't hack the blood portion. So then she's complaining about it to a local restaurant person, and then the restaurant person was like, "Hey, you should go and talk to a librarian. She'll go to the library and she'll talk to the librarian." And so she went there thinking the librarian would be able to point her into like a new job or something. But then like the librarian kind of got nowhere over the last few weeks, and she's like, "Hey, your grade's doing this. You should come like get a job here." And so that's how she got that done. Yes, I. It was a very descriptive chapter when I was talking about the blood draw stuff. Not like it wouldn't gross you out, but
Yeah.
that's how I did. That's how I managed to do that one.
Okay.
Don't know if it worked or not, but we'll see. I don't know if it works out well. I might have someone else read that portion of it, but that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
So
Laura is at 36% now. Is Deadcaster a hard book to read? Because I feel like there's been other books in the past that you have just flown through, and this one you seem to be struggling with. So I'm curious if it's just harder for you to read, or if you're just not enjoying it as much, or if it's just the fact that you're tired and it's hard to concentrate on things and read things when you are tired and stressing out. So,
so when I focus I can read about 60 pages in an hour of mass market. What is it? Mass
Mass
market
market
paper,
paperback.
mass market paperback size. I can do about 60 pages of these in an hour when I'm focusing.
I have no idea how fast I read. Don't ask.
I only did know that because I was like doing some reading sprints with Bree Bruno. No, Bree. I forget her last name, but we're meeting later on the next day to discuss Mistborn.
Okay.
I did not go because I didn't finish it. I'm still
Because
there.
you're only reading 60 pages in an hour. That's why. Okay.
I'm on page 85.
And there's like how many in there?
Um, 643. But here's the thing: he has like 2 or 3 prologues, and he has an epilogue.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I have not been into super long books in a while.
he has a preface, and then he has
Okay.
like 4 different maps, like
Okay. Mhm.
maps. Then hold on, oh my god. Then he has a prologue, another prologue after. So he has like a preface. Then he has a
Okay.
bunch of maps. Then he has a prologue that goes from page 1 to 15. Okay.
Okay.
Then he has like part 1, the survivor, and then chapter 1 finally starts on page 20.
I haven't read long books in so long that I don't think I would enjoy a long book anymore. And everyone's like, "You like fantasy? You should read Brandon Sanderson." I'm like, "I love fantasy. I the the older I get, the more I'm like, I have no desire to read Brandon Sanderson." Like,
So basically, in this book, they get their powers by ingesting different metals.
mm-hmm.
So metal
that's Miss
poisoning equals powers.
that's Mistborn, right?
Yeah.
So my sister loves Mistborn.
Okay.
Loves it. It is her top favorite book. And she's been trying to convince me to read. Like, she has the mass market paperback with the original cover, which has people on it.
Oh
That
yeah.
she bought it when like it first came out, kind of thing. And she's read that thing so many times it's not even funny. And she loves it. And she's been trying to convince me to read it ever since she read it. She was like, "You'll love it." And I'm like, "I don't care."
And my husband read it because we did this whole 25 and 25, like 25 books of reading 25, that 3 from 4 Paws in the book put together, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, and so I thought it'd be fun if I picked out 25 books for him to read, and he would pick out 25 books for me to read. And one of the books I put on there was Mistborn because I was going to read it anyway for this reading club. And well, he's listened to the audiobook, but I can't because it's like a history professor that is so boring, and I want to go to sleep.
Okay.
Like 2 plus 2 is 4, and now we're going to go over here and draw it on the board like that.
You know you can speed up the narration, right?
I know.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you knew that.
It's not the speed, it's like the sound of his
the
voice.
sound.
Yes. Yeah. It's a 24-hour book.
Yeah.
Literally 24 hours.
I want to do a Lord of the Rings and a Hobbit marathon, but I also want to do like I want to have the Silmarillion in that mix too. So I've been slowly purchasing the audiobooks for that series that are read by Andy Serkis, who was the voice of Gollum from the movies. So I'm really looking forward to that. But until I think the Silmarillion is the last one I need. So before I start my marathon, because I really want to just blaze through them all. And I thought they were so much longer than they are.
So Ellie's read The Hobbit on her own, and then she's read The Fellowship of the Ring on her own.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then she's taken a long time to read the book she's reading now, but it's because each chapter is like 40 minutes of audio, and she's listening in audio form because the print is so fine.
Oh, yeah.
The pain. So she's reading The Last Vacations, and then she's going to do Animal Farm,
Okay.
and then she's going to do Two Towers.
Okay.
That's the second book, right?
Yes.
Two Towers,
Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King. Yeah.
and then she'll finish it up, The Return of the King. And then once she's done with all these books that she's doing in-depth novel studies on, she'll earn 2 whole credits.
Nice.
Because it's like generally like a quarter credit per book because it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff like vocab and like essays and short papers, and there's projects, so it's good. And she writes a lot when she does write.
Got it. I think the last time I read, because I've read Lord of the Rings before, and I've read The Hobbit before, and I read Lord of the Rings before I read The Hobbit. And I think I was about the kids' age when I read Lord of the Rings.
So
I was a little older when I read The Hobbit.
I never read The Hobbit from beginning to end. I read the first chapter, like it's less interest when you're little. I was supposed to read the entire book of the Lord of the Rings, the first book, because I was doing a intro into fiction. No, literature into art class in college where we were reading books and comparing them with the movies or TV shows. And the last one we did was the first Lord of the Rings book and movie. And we got to be able to watch it in the theater. But I never finished reading the book because who the crap cares how many arrows Boromir was shot with? And who the crap cares where the little dwarfy dude whose mom was from?
I care.
Because in the movie it's a lot more that he gets shot with than in the book.
Yeah. So
anyway, I didn't do well in that class because the final was like all about the Lord of the Rings book. I'm like, this is not fair.
You said you were like comparing movies to books and stuff, and I'm like, I'm pretty much doing that right now with Pride and Prejudice because I don't remember what got me on that kick. Oh, I know what got me on the kick actually is the fact that everyone keeps telling me that I need to watch the 1995 version with Colin Firth from BBC, and it finally popped up on Amazon as being free to watch. So I was like, I'm watching it now because otherwise, the next time I look on here, it'll be pay to watch again. So I just finished rewatching. I'd never seen it before. I just finished watching that for the first time, and then I watched the 2005 version right afterward. And every time I got stumped with something where I was like, okay, why did this happen? And what was the significance of the time period that this happened? So I was looking up all these kind of stuff, like I realized that Mr. Collins was like an imbecile, an idiot, but I was like, what was the faux pas that everyone was basically laughing at this poor man every time he fucking spoke? Like, I did not get it.
So I haven't read Pride and Prejudice. I haven't watched Pride and Prejudice, but I did hear that. What is that movie? It's that stupid movie. It's not stupid, but it has Alicia Silverstone in it, and she's like this valley girl. And she has this friend, and she kind of has a crush on her brother. And I heard that it's like a modern day version of Pride and Prejudice, but I don't get it.
I feel like you're talking about Clueless.
Yes, that one. There you go. Yay! I described it accurately. I heard someone say it's supposed to be like a modern day version of Pride and Prejudice, but I don't see how that's the case. I might be thinking the wrong Bronte book movie. You know.
Was it Prejudice or was it something? I feel like it was something else, like Emma.
Oh, it is Emma.
Emma. Okay. I have not read Emma. I have watched the newer film, but I haven't read it.
That's like a time period of writing I have not read.
Yeah. I don't understand the time period.
Tried getting my daughter to read the first one, my oldest daughter to read Pride and Prejudice, because it was on a list of like books every high schooler should read. And
yep.
She's like, did you? I'm like, no, I did not.
I did. I read it the first time in high school. Did not understand it at all because I did not get like everyone was like, this is like the most feminist book. I'm like, it's not though. Everybody's getting fucking married. I did not get it. And
Um,
it took until watching the 2005 version before I got it, and then doing heavy research before I understood just how it was considered feminist for its time period.
okay.
Because
Like
I was
in
comparing it to modern times.
oh, okay. Like I didn't read that stuff. I'm like I studied to Romeo and Juliet twice. Watched the
No,
dumb
thank you.
play. Watched the modern day play, which I like way better because it still has the language from the play, but it's like guns and swords or guns and knives in modern day LA. And
Yeah.
I did like um I did the Animal Farm. I did Of Mice and Men. Flowers for Aileron. It's
Flowers for Algernon with the mouse.
yes, that one. Yeah,
Okay.
and How to Kill a Mockingbird.
Yep.
Where the red fern grows.
Okay.
The dog's die at the end, so my kids don't want to read it. They know how it ends. They've heard me talk about it, so they're not going to read it, and it's
Yeah.
fine. Like those type of books, but yeah, not
Yeah. Um,
1800, 1800, 1900.
yeah.
Everyone should get married and have babies type books. I don't know.
Yeah. I finished watching the 2005, rewatching that one today. So now I want a paperback version. It turns out I do have the ebook, but I want to get a paperback version of Pride and Prejudice so I can go through it and annotate it. Because now I think I have a better understanding of the time period, at least somewhat from all the research I've been doing lately. That I think it'll be easier for me to get through it and read it and actually understand what the fuck is going on and how it relates to society of their time and what was considered like feminist ideals back then versus now.
Do you ever do immersive reading where you listen to the audio and follow along on the page so you can like hear how they're supposed to be talking as you're reading the book?
I listen at a faster speed than my eyes can read,
Yeah,
so I cannot do that.
I don't do that. I was just wondering if you did. I
Yeah,
read really fast, super
I
fast.
literally can't do that because my listening and my reading are not on the same level as each other.
So I asked Illy, I was like, how fast do you listen to Last Mohicans? She's like, that goes at like 3.0, 5.0. Like kidding. What do you listen? She listens to it at 1.5 speed.
Yeah, same.
Like,
I'm either at 1.25 or 1.5 speed for all of my audiobooks.
yeah, mine's just about 1.5. Once in a while, it gets up higher if they're like, I don't know, it's like droning on slow or slow speaking. But yeah, most part 1.5.
There's been a couple of books where I've actually had to slow it back down to normal speed just because the narrators um, either spoke with an accent and I wanted to make sure I was understanding what they were saying as they were speaking, or um, they already had a more naturally fast speaking voice that I had to slow it down versus speeding up because most of the time, most narrators speak with a slower tone while they're reading. And that's just too slow. And my brain's like, nope, let's speed this up, man. Let's speed this up. Okay. All right. We've been chatting for a bit. I don't see any new comments. So let's go ahead. You ready to do another sprint?
Yeah, we could do that.
Let's do another sprint. Next sprint. Next sprint. Sprint. Sorry. I don't know. I have no excuses.
Fine. It's fine.
No excuses. All right, here we go. Sprint number 3. This is how long have you been standing there? What all did you hear? So that is our prompt, and we are going to start writing in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that is time. Let us know how you did, what you did in the comments.
I wrote a few more lines. I would write and race and write and race. Just trying to get it moving on. I don't want to get in the habit of like I'll do that later because then he'll never get done.
I feel that. And I did a lot of that right too during this chapter. I was going back and forth between this chapter and the previous chapter because I realized that I was repeating a lot of stuff event wise that had already happened. And I was like, no, I think it would work better in this chapter. So I was removing it from the previous chapter completely, which helped shorten that previous chapter. So it worked out.
Good.
So I'll finish that up in the next sprint.
Yeah, just, it's just a few sentences of dialogue that needs to get them moved from point A to point B, and I'm trying to make it sound right in my head.
It's difficult sometimes. Like I've mentioned almost every stream, it feels like the story is fighting me because I feel like I've done so much more work to it than I usually do when I'm drafting. And yes, I realize the point of drafting is just to get the story out on paper, but for how short this story is going to be, like it's a novella, it feels like I've been working on it so much longer than any novel because I'm doing so much like back and forth. And yeah.
And I think we talked about this on another stream. We tend to do more clean drafts and not so clean drafts because I'd rather spend more time on drafting it and less time on editing because who likes editing? Only weird people. That. No, I'm kidding.
Little memento, I need to yell at my child, but it's time to get ready for bed.
Okay. Oh, she's not gonna let us hear her yell at her daughter. Get your butt in bed.
She's on the other side of the house.
Okay.
She's screaming right into the mic. Especially since I had to lean forward to look down the hall. I'm already like right up in the mic's face just to like yell down the hall.
That's fine.
I don't know if she heard me or not. So when we start the next sprint, I'll go tell her. Because it's like 3 minutes till midnight. And the rule on weekends is that she can only stay up until midnight. So she's pushing it hard. All right. Let's see. Comment section. JC joined us during that sprint and said hi. And hello to everyone else. Dark also joined us saying, I got 100 words. I'm trying to get my subset caught up to where I'm at chapter-wise. Ooh.
So
what a link.
It's a I don't know their name, but it's a Dark Project like sharing a story on Substack. Is that where they share their story at?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm inferring from this comment that the answer to that question is yes, but I could also be wrong. So take with what I say with a grain of salt.
I'm gonna find it. Hold on. Let's see here. I will find the Dark Project Substack stuff and I'll find it. Let's see here.
Ready for bed?
I can do it. Dark Project. Well, that didn't help.
Ready for bed, Joe? Yeah. Okay.
This wasn't helpful. Let's see.
Okay. Did I just choke you? Sorry. Not my intention. Oh, I can choose myself. It's over here.
Unless I'm dumb and I can't see anything. I don't think I can't find a Dark Project on Substack, so they might be on something different.
Maybe. Yes, that was Graceland. I accidentally choked her. Did not mean to. Laura got 46% through the book now. That's awesome. Oh, thank you, JC. We have our moments. Almost missed the cat.
So Dark, if you could just post the name of your Substack or something like that in the comments, we could find it.
We're trying to stalk you.
Okay, I'm trying to
I
find it.
bet
I'm
you.
pretty
I
sure
bet you
I've watched.
anything. If it's called Full Dark No Stars. I was totally getting ready to click on Dark's profile and see if there was links on their profile. Dark is spelled DARQ.
Yeah, I have one. It says Miranda K. Dark. Is that who that is? Is that
I think
you?
so.
Okay, let's see.
We're being nosy in real time.
I'm
Oh, hi.
going to guess.
Oh, did I not give you lovins? Did I not give you lovins? I gave the child lovings. Is that not good enough?
Come on. Oh, okay.
That is in fact not good.
Copy link. Oh my god.
Lay down,
This
Bubby.
is so hard.
Lay down, Bubby. Go lay down, Bubby.
All right.
Ow.
All right. I put the link in the thing in the private chat so you can do it.
Oh, okay. I was like, why do you send it to me? I keep forgetting that you can't automatically put. It's not like StreamYard where you can put comments in the comment section.
Okay. Yep. That is the Dark Project. That's the right one.
Boop. There we go. Dark confirms that is me. That's a me. Pepper.
Oh, good.
Yeah, JC, he is a giant puppy dog, even though he's like an adult dog now. We were talking about his age and how like fast dogs mature earlier today. And he definitely wants all the loves. He gets, I don't want to say he gets jealous, but if you show any attention to any of the other dogs, all of a sudden he is up in your face being like, oh, love me, love me, love me, love me, love me, love me, love me.
So my cat, who usually is like literally walking over my desk, is not walking over my desk tonight because husband is not playing video games. If my husband's not here playing video games on the couch, he's not paying attention to the cat. So therefore, I need to pay attention to the cat. But he's in the bedroom doing something on his computer and listening to an audiobook. So the cat's like, oh, I can sleep next to Dad, no problem. I don't want to be touched, but I'm going to sleep there.
Fair enough.
Oh, man. I don't make the rules. It's cat
You just
rules.
follow them.
That's
Cats,
right, exactly.
Cats make their own rules. And Dark said, but the kid got a hug, Skye, so now the pupper needs one too. Yes. JC said he's adorable. He deserves all the love. Don't deny him. He gets lots of lovings. You would think he's never been loved a day in his life. He gets so much love, it's not even funny. He just needs all of the attention all of the time.
So I have a Substack, and I kind of just write about whatever is on my mind. Kind of share about writing, and I was trying to share about traveling, but I'm going to have like another section where like people can choose to get that also in their inboxes or not. But it's going to be Tales from the Road, and the first one I'm going to put underneath that section called Road Trips Are for Wimps is like this 3,000 to 4,000 word short story about us, our first 66 days of hell traveling and everything we learned along the way. As hey, if you want to keep reading, this is what you can expect from me on this stuff here.
Fair enough.
It's somewhere in my computer files or in my external. I gotta find it.
I figured out. So we've been talking off and on what we should do for the RDC, the Rough Draft Challenge, which is hosted by Sarah Cannon over on Heart Readings. And while you were talking about that, I just figured it out what I can work on. So whatever, I already knew that whatever I don't finish on this particular project before the end of the 7-day book challenge, I will continue that on into the Rough Draft Challenge, and I want to finish the story. But it's not going to take me a whole month to finish the story, even if I go from doing like 8 sprints a day to 1 sprint a day. So I've talked off and on about thinking about doing a Patreon, and I finally actually settled on doing a Patreon. So I think what I'm going to do is my goal for the Rough Draft Challenge is to go ahead and get my Patreon set up and figure out my tiers, what I'm going to offer in those said tiers, and stuff like that. That's going to be my goal for the Rough Draft Challenge.
That's
Figure
cool.
it out.
If I was smart, I'd be like, I'm going to use the Rough Draft Challenge to get a bunch of like Substack articles or whatever, I don't know, post articles or whatever ready.
That's a good idea too, actually.
And then I don't have to worry about it. So I'm not, because that's why I think I fell off because I was doing a Substack post every Sunday, but then I like missed a Sunday, so I did it on Monday, and then I missed another week. I was like, oh, and I missed another week, and then I just never got back on it.
Makes sense.
So, but I've done 2 Substack posts in March. Pretty impressed with myself.
So you can get to the point where you have a whole slew of posts that you have ready to go and still continue that pattern of only 2 a month, like every other week. And if you have all of your content built up before then, you can pre-schedule it all so you never miss a week. Look at that. That's what I'm trying to do with videos.
Yeah, that's what proper people do. I don't do it that way. No.
We don't do things the proper way. That makes way too much sense.
We do not work smarter. We work harder. Okay, people, that's the way to do it. So I was talking to someone, another author that lives here in Texas, and they're like, yeah, I'm 10 days behind. I'm like, that's okay. I'm like, hopefully I'll be done with this book. And she's like, well, how much more do you have? And I said, I think it's like 5 chapters. She's like, oh, I think you could do it. Like, and then she goes, what else did you do this month? Like, writing wise, like how many words? I'm like, well, I completed 2 short stories for 2 different anthologies, and I've written 15,000 words or 20,000 words for this story. So yeah, I guess I wrote a lot when you think about it. But then as you're knee deep in your writing trenches, you don't really think about what you're doing until you go back and think about like, oh.
Yeah. That's why I officially started trying to do like the monthly wrap ups. And I've done one so far, the January/February one, because I filmed a video I refilmed a video the other day where I was talking about um, what I've accomplished as far as like writing wise the past 5 years from 2020 to 2024.
Oh, yeah, I haven't watched that one yet.
It hasn't gone live because I haven't edited it yet.
Oh.
That's the one I had to refilm. And I was refilming it the other day. In fact, actually, I got to download the files to this computer so I can start editing it and putting it together. But as I was filming it, I realized that I don't have a lot of notes on why I didn't write because I've always been a binge writer. And I don't have any notes on why I either didn't finish specific projects or like why there was like a couple months where I didn't write at all. Like I have no notes on any of that information. So I've been slowly like changing how I mark my progress on things. So like I'm keeping a writing journal on Notion where anytime I do any kind of writing, I write what I've been working on, what I accomplished with it as far as like word counts go, if I did streaming, how many sprints I did, and how many of those sprints I actually wrote during, and stuff like that. Just so that when I do like a wrap up like this, I can look back and be like, okay, I did not write because of such and such. What?
You said that you had to refilm the January-February wrap up?
No, I refilmed the 5 years of writing stuff.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Different video.
Okay, I was like, I thought I watched it and I did.
I started doing the wrap ups because of this other video I had to refilm.
Okay, got it. All right, we're good. All right, continue. I was listening.
You were like, I'm so confused. What are you talking about right now? This video's posted.
That's what I was like.
What are you talking about, Skye? I haven't watched it yet, but I know it's there. Jeez.
It's okay.
Hey, Bubby. But yeah, that was part of the reason I started doing those wrap ups was because when filming that video that I've had to refilm and now have to edit, I couldn't explain why there were so many gaps in my writing history. Like there was a couple where there's like no writing for some months, and I have no idea why. Was I sick that month? I have no idea. I don't know.
So when when we first started traveling in the RV, I took like a 5 monthly planner, like a horizontal A5 planner from like Erin Condren, and at the end of each day I would write what we did, like what city we're in, like where we stayed, and like just like a few sentences about that day. I filled that one up. I still have it, so I'm going to use that as the basis of the first several dozen articles for the thing. But I'm going to find another 5-year planner that I really love, because then I can go back. Because I usually like write if there's an event like HV90 or like if we anything really, like events or videos, or if I did a ton of videos in a month, I'm not writing a lot, honestly. So I kind of like to go back and see what was going on when, and I've been starting to write like, okay, no school this week for the kids. So then if there's no school, what the heck else was going on? They didn't do anything that week. I used to have more writing update videos when I was vlogging and consistently and sharing that, but then I stopped doing that because I stopped putting out more work. I got bored and say, well, no writing, but I did this. No writing, but I did this.
Yeah, feel that. Dark says I was doing great on that until the big sick cap stomped me in January. Talking about Substack and being like having stuff pre-scheduled and stuff like that. And then JC was laughing at our video mix-up talk.
It's fine.
My bad. Sorry, did not explain.
It's all
properly.
Good. It's all right. I look forward to watching that video when it comes out. Okay. For reals.
It's supposed to come out April 1st, but there's a couple clips. It didn't transfer the videos right, the video clips right. And so every time I go to open them up in my video editor, it's like, we cannot open this video. I'm like, it plays where I downloaded it from. I'm like, what is going on?
So what do you use to film?
My phone.
Your phone. And what do you use to edit?
iMovie.
Why not just edit it on your phone?
No.
I'm just asking, why not?
Little screen. No, thank you. Plus, I have too many cracks on my screen. One where I beat it up so much. No, I have enough trouble just using it to make phone calls and texting. No, thank you.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, thank you.
I do it all on my phone. Like all my videos that you see, like I film on my phone and I edit on my phone. I mean, if I had a Mac computer, I might edit on my Mac computer on iMovie, but I do not have one.
Even before I had my Mac, I was using
Windows Movie Maker.
No, actually, I've never used Windows Movie Maker to edit a video.
I did my first. I did for a while. You definitely tell when I stopped using the computer, like video quality wise.
What was I using? I was using
like DaVinci or something. Premiere Pro.
I have used Premiere Pro, but that wasn't what I was using before I switched to the Mac. I was using the knockoff version of Adobe's video editing software, but I don't remember what it's called. GIMP is the knockoff of Adobe Photoshop.
Gotcha.
I was using the video version that was the knockoff of Premiere Pro, but I can't remember what it was called. And I've been using Premiere Pro off and on since I was in high school, because I took one of my college courses that I took was using and learning how to use Premiere Pro. It's been around that long.
We used to use it all.
It was called Premiere Pro back then.
We used to use it all the time when we were in Oregon, when we have to do audio visual elements, and a lot of time we'd help our church live stream, and so a lot of times they're like, "Oh, we lost a file," or can you build this song, or hey, I just created this new song, can you put the slides together for us? Oh, sure, no problem. So they send in the song file, but my husband is like 70% deaf in his ears, so I would listen and they tell him what he'd say. So it's a joint effort.
Fair enough. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. I don't see any new comments. Oh, I lied. Dark said I switched from Adobe to Affinity and DaVinci Resolve. It might have been DaVinci Resolve. No subscription nonsense, just a one-time purchase. Okay, it was not DaVinci Resolve. It's a one-time purchase because I haven't purchased anything in years. So whatever this was that I was using was free, and it's no longer on my computer because I'm looking at my computer now, and there's no video
It's
thing
the
here.
knockoff version of a Premiere Pro, like GIMP is a knockoff version of Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Please hold. I'll be right back.
Okay. Now that's gonna bug me. I don't have anything on my computer. I've deleted a lot of stuff off my computer though, so whatever it was, it's no longer there. It might have been DaVinci if it has a free version. I do. Is Affinity is the one that a lot of people are using for like audiobook recordings, right? And podcast recordings. I've heard, if it's the one I think it is, I've heard enough people mention it now that I've been debating on trying it, whether there's a free trial or not, and seeing how that sounds compared to like I'm just using iMovie for audio and I record audio straight with my phone and then transfer the files and do editing in iMovie. But I'm curious what doing the same thing in Affinity would sound like, because if that's the program I think it is, because one of the things I have been debating on doing is my own audiobooks. Whether that'll actually happen, I don't think I am good enough to do audiobooks, but I've done a couple of audiobooks on my YouTube channel for like short stories and stuff. So I could definitely start with stuff like that. I could do like short story audiobooks, definitely, and try that. Welcome back.
Would it have been Power Director?
It might have been.
Okay.
That does sound familiar.
I asked my expert.
I wondered what you were doing. I was like, she just suddenly wanted to leave. I don't know where she went.
Well, he's usually sitting right there, and I asked him, but he was in the bedroom. So
it also might have been DaVinci Resolve because apparently DaVinci has a free version as well.
Yeah, that's what he was saying too.
It might have been that. DaVinci has audio stuff within it, but it's also a video thing, and Affinity is a Photoshop InDesign dupe. Okay, wasn't it Affinity? What's the program? And I don't mean for you to go ask your husband again if you don't remember. It's fine if you don't. A lot of people who are doing their own audiobooks now are using a program, but and podcast people are using a program that's for audio. You wouldn't happen to know what it's called, right? Would you? Audacity. Audacity? That doesn't sound right. I feel like it starts with an A, but now I can't remember what it is. Hold on. I'm going to Google.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I did know some people use Riverside to record podcasts, but it's only audio, not visual, I think.
It is Audacity. Okay, free audio editor, recorder, music making, blah, 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 blah. So the first one that pops up when I type audio recording software, get this. The sponsored link, the very first link that pops up when I Google that, StreamYard.
Oh, God.
And then Riverside is the next sponsored one, followed by Evernote, which I didn't know Evernote does audio recording, so that's cool to know. And then the first one that's not a sponsored is Audacity. Okay. So that's interesting. Okay, so yeah, Dark was like, Audacity is right. Okay. And Reaper is another audio-only thing. I've heard of Reaper once before, and actually it might have been you, Dark, that mentioned Reaper, either in a video or in a chat like this. Because I've heard Reaper mentioned only once before and with the thought process that I would look into it, and then I never did. So now I'm going to look up Reaper as well. Reaper audio software. There we go. That's what I want. I'll look that up in a little bit and research that. Because all that to say that I've been debating doing some like audiobook stuff. Because I would eventually like to put out audiobooks, and I think one of the things I want to do is play around with Audacity and see how it sounds. and start with like short stories to see if I can do audiobooks, like if I sound good enough to do audiobooks, and then go from there.
That's one of the reasons I took all my books out of Kindle Unlimited, because I wanted to be able to if I wanted to make my own recordings myself, because then and if I wanted to share them anywhere else, like I can do audiobooks regardless if it's in Kindle Unlimited or not. That
Yeah, that's
had
what
nothing.
Sarah said. Doesn't affect my what? Was not
um but my first trilogy, I was thinking of like sharing them like on either on Substack or my website as like short chapters at a time. I haven't decided yet exactly, but I wanted to be able
You want the option.
to have different options.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll go wide too. I'm not there yet. I've got to one step at a time. Things are not falling the way I wanted them to. Dominoes are not landing the way they should have done, because
Okay.
my plan with Puck, at least, my plan was to put out the ebook and paperback at the same time. I still don't have the paperback out, and that's all on me. Oh well. Oops. It'll happen eventually. Eventually, someday in the future. And I have no excuse. I've got the cover. I've got the paperback files because I created them myself. Like, I've got everything. I can just set it up and put it out there. I don't want to. Don't make me do it.
Yeah. So like once you so I had stuff in Kindle Unlimited, and so then I removed it from Kindle Unlimited, and then once it was all done, then I started slowly going wide.
Yeah.
And most of the places I went directly, like I used Draft Digital to put in the libraries and on Apple Books, and then I went directly on Kobo and directly on Google Play, which was the most tedious. You would think it was easy, and then I did Barnes and Noble.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was it. Pretty sure.
Says once you decide to put anything in KDP, you have to drag it down from anything else. I feel like it's a lot easier to go wide from KU than it is vice versa.
Yeah, because it takes some. If I was going to have my book in Hoopla, because it's in Hoopla and Libby, the library apps, Hoopla takes forever and a day to go live, and twice as long for your book to come off of it.
Oh,
I've done it both ways, so that's why it's like, okay, this time I'm gonna like just put it in KU, try it for this amount of time. It didn't do well.
Got it.
So then I removed it and put it everywhere.
I think that's another reason I'm dragging my feet about going wide, is the fact that I know that once I go wide, I will never probably return to KU.
But I do know some people that will go wide, but then be like, oh, my book is going to be in KU for 90 days, because that's what the term is for 90 days. And then you can have it automatically renew or not. And then at the end of the 90 days, then it's available everywhere else.
That's a good way to do it.
Some people do that. Or like shorter, like super short pieces that might not have a really thick spine or whatever, like really short stories might be in KU, and then like the longer ones are wider.
Yeah, and that makes sense. But I feel because I don't want to put the work in to like remove it from everywhere and then put it back in KU. I feel like once I start going wide, I will never return to KU. And I think that's another reason why I'm dragging my feet about leaving KU in the first place. I'm just like, it's too much work and I don't want to do it. I'm lazy. Okay. It took me long enough just to get it where it is now. I don't want to remove it and put it other places. Thank you very much.
And honestly, I've had my books, my romance books and my non-romance books and my travel guide in KU and not in KU, and I didn't really see a difference. Like, yeah, it got read, but I didn't really see a difference overall. And I feel like I can't take the month of February and say, okay, this is a really good reading month for people for romance books. Therefore, my romance books are going to be read a lot throughout the year because it's Lovecraft month, so everyone's going to read love books. it's Valentine's month, so everyone's gonna read love books anyway. So I feel like that's not a good case study. Like if it was, you know what I mean. So
And romance readers are voracious readers that read romance all year round. So it doesn't really pick up in the month of February, I feel like.
yeah,
I could be wrong about that, like because you get the non-romance readers who suddenly read romance books in February. So it does pick up. It's just I don't feel like the romance readers, the gung ho romance readers, are not the reason your stats will change in February.
yeah. So you know, I don't really pay for ads, so there's that. So they'll buy my books or they don't buy my books, and it's fine.
Dark says, yes, I usually do KU for the first 90 days, then broaden it if page reads have died down. Ooh, that. So she does exactly what you're talking about, putting it in KU first, then taking it wide.
It's much easier to do it that way.
Yes.
Because then, like, what if you have it somewhere and then you take it down, but then you accidentally like, oh no, I put it in K before it got removed from this site completely.
Yeah.
So,
Or like it was supposedly pulled from that site completely, because I've seen this happen a lot. It was supposedly pulled, like you got the confirmation email saying that they pulled it, and only to find out when Amazon's like, you didn't say the magic word, and then you find out it was never actually pulled. It's like,
so
all right, I've reached the end of the comments. I feel like we've wrapped up that conversation a little bit. Let's do another sprint. I want to do another sprint.
you seem more awake than you were when you first started.
I am awake now. Like, I don't know what it is now. I just apparently need that power nap because that was exactly what did it for me, and now I'm awake.
And now you're just going to power through until 5 a.m. when the stream starts. Yes.
No.
You thought about it.
Ever.
You thought about it.
Well, because
Well,
it might happen, but it will happen unintentionally if it does. Like, that is not my goal. But it might happen. Oh my god, no, I don't want. I'm not gonna think about that. No, we got riding to do. Let's do this. Let's
have
do this.
another Pepsi. You'll be fine.
All right, fourth sprint. This might be our final one, depending on how I'm feeling.
We're gonna do another one. It's fine.
I've got 6 prompts actually, so technically I could do 3 more. I could technically do 3 more sprints.
Look at that. She just said we're going to do 3 more sprints. Did you
I did not say we're doing 3 more sprints. No, you did not hear those words come out of my mouth. I like Dark's comment. Existential crisis mode activated. Yes, exactly. All right. 4th prompt for anyone who wants to write, doesn't know what they want to write about. It says, I will find out who killed my husband, with or without your help. I need to know because they took the pleasure of doing it so from me, and I will not stand for it.
Oh, that's
plot twist.
Ooh.
Plot twist. What? What?
Meow meow. Or not meow meow. That's not a cat. That's a dog.
I'm a dog person, if you couldn't tell. I have cats, but dad, Justin is a cat dad, and I'm a dog mom.
I am not your child. Refer to him as Justin or or the hubs or hubby, not dad.
I thought we discussed that I cannot word tonight, okay? Or any night, actually. So, but yeah, he's the cat dad, and I am the dog mom. So
got it.
All right. I think he needs to go outside too, which doesn't.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do the sprint. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that's time. Let us know how you did, what you did in the comments.
I wrote words and stuff, and I made a spectacular advance on my writing. It's all done. I never have to write ever again this year. It's totally what I did. I'm kidding. I worked on a few more paragraphs.
I was like, wow, you accomplished a lot in 25 minutes. I'm impressed. Let's go.
Yes.
I wrote 189 new words, but I cut a lot of words from that previous chapter because I was still switching around pieces from that one scene and moving it to a different scene. That's the whole
Gotcha.
thing. We're good to go. But I've now successfully trimmed that one chapter up so it's like 500 words less. Now I want to know. I want to know math. Let's see. 1816 plus 1886. Okay, I lied. I trimmed maybe 100 words.
That's okay.
But it's still trimmed words. Not
You
worried
lied
about
to me. I still forgive you. It's okay.
it. That's good. Let's see. Let me put that in my tracker real quick that I did 189 words before I forget, because I will forget. I've almost written 2,000 words for the day. Not quite. But I've gotten a lot accomplished on the stories and those chapters I'm working on, so I can't complain too much. All right, let's see how the chat did. Angel popped up during that sprint. Hello, Angel. Good morning or good evening, whichever one is your preference at the moment. Dark just passed 21K total. Did about 300 words for that sprint. That's awesome. Congratulations. That being said, do we want to wrap up or do we want to do another sprint? I've still got the cat timer up in case we wanted to do another sprint. I'm good either way.
Let's do one more.
Okay. We can do one more. I have one more. I've got 2 more prompts technically, because basically if we ever decide to do random sprints randomly.
So does that mean we're doing one more or 2 more?
Either one, we'll decide after this next sprint if we do want to do
I think that's fair. Let's do one at a time.
Yeah.
Play it by ear, you know.
No more than
Sort of
6
thing.
total. I can't do any more than that. Period. Then I'm going to have to go
Look
to
at
sleep.
that. It's only like 2 more hours until the thing starts tonight in the morning. Once we're done streaming, it'll be like 2 more hours and you'll be good to go to start the opening chat.
When
It's 5 a.m. my time is when it starts.
which is 4 a.m. my time. Okay.
Yes.
So
See?
at the moment it's 3 hours away. Okay. Okay.
I am the encourager of all good things. It's fine.
I do not need to be staying up. I might take a 2-hour nap and then get up for the opening ceremony, because I would like to go to the opening ceremony, but I don't.
I was gonna watch the closing ceremonies of the Friends Thanksgiving one that they did, just so I could see what it was like, because I'm doing the closing one. I don't know. She gave me a list of like questions and topics that kind of like guide me, but there's no sprint in the whole closing session. It's just like let's chat about how it went. What were your highlights? Did anyone cry? Did anyone like write a murder mystery? Like, what did you accomplish?
Yeah. Dark says, I have work in the morning, so I'm going to head out. Good luck, all. Have a good night, Dark. Hopefully you get some sleep. I'm glad you passed 21K and got 300 words during that sprint. You did so good tonight, and especially like since you've been like recovering from the sickness, so that's awesome. So have a good night, and we'll see you the next time you join us. Excuse me. I think during this next sprint, I do need to go get a drink because I'm almost out of root beer, and my Pepsi can was empty before I even opened the root beer. So
you definitely need a Pepsi.
I need something to hydrate with at least.
Yes.
And I haven't bought more water, so I don't know how much more water bottles we have. Even if we did not have to haul water, I probably would not drink the tap water just because of how mineralized it is. I would probably always be buying
The water here is pretty good, but up until like we got the apartment, I would only drink from a store-bought water or store-bought jug of water.
Fair.
Oh,
I don't see any more chat coming through, so I can actually stop the timer and reset it. If you
hmm.
want to.
So your book is 10 chapters, you said?
Yep.
Right? And how many words is it so far?
15,878,
And
which
it's
I've
how
written
many?
in 5 days.
And how many chapters is it so far?
I'm on chapter 5. I'm about halfway through chapter 5.
Okay, I'm like at just over 15,000, and I'm just starting chapter 13.
But your chapters
But-
are a lot shorter.
Yeah, my first chapter was only like 600 and some odd words. And then the next 2 or 3 were like 2,500 words, give or take. So I'm not writing short stories for my chapters.
I do want to record it. One of the things I do need to go back and check now with different projects is to see how long different chapters are, just because I'm curious now. Excuse me.
So you won't be writing, you'll be counting chapter lengths this time. I see.
No, I'm going to be writing on the sprint. I'm just at another date, not tonight, not during sprints. I want to get the writing done because I would like to finish this chapter if I can. I don't think it's going to happen during this sprint. So I think this will be the first time where I haven't finished a chapter in a day because I had to do so much other work to the other chapter before I could like really get bogged down with this chapter. But so far during this challenge, I've been finishing 1 chapter a day, and technically speaking, it's already a new day, and I haven't finished this chapter. Am I counting it as having finished this day? No, because we haven't finished the stream, and this was still part of day 5 stream.
And you haven't gone to sleep yet.
And I haven't gone to sleep. That was going to be the second thing.
Yes. Day is done when you go to sleep. Even if it's only for 20 minutes, you still go to sleep.
But this chapter is like, I think I'm at halfway through this chapter, so there's a possibility I could finish it during the sprint. I could.
I have a interaction over a meal at a restaurant to write for this chapter. How many pancakes and burgers can they eat in a story?
I don't know. That sounds delicious, though. Can I have my burger wrapped in pancake? Like, can that be the bread? And instead of putting ketchup and stuff on it, can I have syrup?
Maple syrup. Fresh
Yeah, of course.
maple syrup.
Of
That's
course.
slightly warm maple syrup.
Yes.
Delicious. I want pancakes now.
I don't even like pancakes.
But I don't want to make them, okay?
Yeah.
You know, like when I go to places and get pancakes, I usually have problems in my stomach, like it bloats up, and I get lots of bloating problems in my gut when I eat a lot of like bread and stuff like that. But when I eat waffles or pancakes at the Waffle House, nothing. Totally fine. It's weird. And I don't even like order off the vegan menu or like the gluten-free menu or whatever. It's just their normal stuff with their grits and pancakes and sausage and nothing. I was like, if there was a Waffle House here, I'd eat at it more often.
Time to order some pancakes.
Yes. There's a Denny's and IHOP here in town.
I miss IHOP.
I hate IHOP only because they're always so cold inside. They have the AC blasting no matter where we go. But their coffee tastes better there than at Denny's. Denny's always tastes burnt.
I haven't had Denny's in years.
We always go to Denny's for Jackson's birthday. Denny's or IHOP for pancakes and eggs with cheese in them and hot chocolate with sprinkles.
Okay.
And then go bowling. It never changes, except for this year because there's no bowling alley here.
Wait, there's no bowling alley there?
No, there used to be one here, but they closed it down. But they do have like a few lanes on the university campus, which is like a few blocks away from us, the campus. And apparently they have such a good bowling team that the bowling team advanced to the next levels of championship for the NCAA championship stuff. They're bowling.
That's cool.
like of all the sports, not baseball or football or rodeo or bull riding or whatever, but bowling. So that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
There is like a game center here that you can go in, and it's $5 for all day. And
Okay.
inside there's a room that has like the old school like arcade games that you put quarters in, but they just
Yeah.
run nonstop. And then they have a room that has like all different kinds of Legos sets you can build with, and another room that has like board games, and a room you can play Pokemon cards and things like that for like $5 all day.
I want to go there.
I'm like, that's cool. I'd probably take that too. That'd be cool.
Right
Something
before
to
we moved up here, they built an arcade in North Carolina, and I never got to visit before we moved, which makes me sad.
like a like an like a like a regular arcade or arcade that you
Hmm.
go.
Old school arcade with like the pinball machines and the game systems and stuff like that,
Okay,
like a retro arcade.
that sounds neat.
And they've supposedly got other things, but the pictures I remember seeing were like the retro stuff. So I don't know exactly what all it has. Plus, it's been like 5 years now, so they probably expanded. Because I know on opening day they actually had to turn people away because of they were so popular because of you know how they have the safety numbers they have
Mhm.
to meet. They were well beyond that, so they were turning people away at the door and denying them entrance because there was too many people inside already. So, good morning, Kay. So yeah, I'm a little sad that we never got to visit before we left, but oh well. Now I need to make it my mission to go visit at some point. All right. Got 2.5 minutes before the next sprint. Uh,
I might not finish this chapter before I go to bed, but I'm going to make progress on it.
yeah, I really would like to finish this chapter. It would be really cool to finish this chapter.
Because I finish, well, I hope so, because I finish the chapter before I get off the computer with you and all that. Then I would only have to write chapters 14, 15, 16, and 17. I'd be down to 4 chapters left.
You got this.
I hate the ending. Like, I hate like trying to wrap it up. I like the beginning. And I like all the like the fun stuff that the characters go through. There might not be fun for them, but it'll be fun for us to read. And then
Yeah.
I don't. And then the ending's like, let's hurry up and get over with. I'm over it.
I remember watching a vlog from Sarah recently where she was talking about the fact that she still had to write her ending because she was on a time crunch to get her draft to her editor. And she was like, my editor's used to me not doing an ending. And I'm like, wait, what? That's an option? We could do that? Because I hadn't realized that's actually pretty typical for her is to not have the ending really sorted out before she sends it to her editor and be like, take a look at this. And like, I don't have an ending yet, but here's what I've got so far. And I'm like,
I'll be like, what if the editor is like, oh, I really hope you do it this way, but then that's not the way you're going to do it. Then you'd like, I feel like, you know what I mean? I don't know if I could have someone read it without an ending.
right? I have to. The reason I haven't set Presumed Dead to my editor yet, it's one of the short stories I was working on before this one, is because I have to rewrite the ending because the original ending I wrote didn't feel true to the characters and the story so far. And I was like, oh no, we have to redo this, and we have to do it a little differently. So I still have to do that. That was another thing I was hoping to finish on this 7-day book challenge was to finish that ending. And I might knock that out at some point this weekend during the AuthorTube Sweet Treat stream crawl. I almost had it there. Almost had it. Because at least then I can say I finished something during this challenge. All right, we're coming up on the end of the break, so I'm going to go ahead and get us set up for our next sprint.
Okay.
So sprint number 5 says, if a guy ever calls you a good girl when you give him your phone number, run. Don't walk, run. That guy's either dangerous or a creep, and you don't need either in your life right now with the way it's going. So
I don't know. Like every time I read a book and like a girl gets called a good girl, it's like she likes it. So that's
yeah, this is someone you just met that you're handing your phone number to.
all right. That makes sense.
Like, no thanks. That's instant turn off. I'm like, no. Can I have that number back? Thank you very much. Bye. Go away. We're done. I washed my hands of you already. Do not skip go. Do not collect $200. Nope. We're done. Angel's asking if I'm tired already. Actually, no, I'm wide awake now. I'm ready to write, and I'm trying to finish up this chapter because I really want to get it done. So, all right, let's do this. 25 minutes starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, this time. How did everyone do what you do?
I think I'm just about done. They're wrapping everything up in the chapter. So probably like 3 more sentences and I'll be done with this chapter that would never end.
Oops, that
I
is
mean, it wasn't a long chapter. It just took me a while to figure out how to come at it. So that's what it. Um,
I finished the chapter I wanted to finish, so I'm happy, and I started the next chapter.
Yay!
So I'm still on track to finish at least one chapter per day.
Good job.
Excuse me. I'm getting ever closer, and that makes me happy. Let's see the comments. Oh, there's people popping in and out. Hold on. Hold on. Cammy popped in. Hello. Are you guys going until the stream crawl? Because I know. Got 3 hours of sleep and lay in bed for almost 6, just trying to get more. Struggling to focus and think of engagement. And Kay asked if Cammy's getting stage fright.
I don't think Cammy's streamed like hosted stream stuff like this before, so I told her I would be on the morning one just to be like if the chat is stalling, I could fill up the dead space, or I could like ask questions of her to get her talking, or ask questions of the audience to get them talking, or whatever. Has someone else on screen.
Yeah.
I know what it was like to do it at first.
It's been so long since I've done one alone that, like when I was first starting, that I don't remember what it was like. Because I only remember doing it in groups at first. I know I didn't do it in a group at first, but like I don't remember what the experience was like doing it alone at first. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
I definitely did groups or like partners like you and me are doing before. Yeah, and it's only been like one or two people on it.
Yeah. Okay. Laura made it to the 50% mark and going to sleep. It said good night. You were probably already gone, but have a good night. Sleep well. Cammy says, I just figured right now I should really take my vertigo meds now that I finally have my prescription renewed after 2 months of being out of stock. They'll also help with the anxiety. I think I'm mostly nervous to be trapped against my kitchen counter in order to have my laptop webcam reach from the only outlet in the space. And Cammy said, I'll go get on my laptop and send you the link. Heather had expressed interest in joining the streams, but not an exact time was said, so it might be mine, it might be another. Okay, and you were talking back and forth with Cammy about that. Cammy took a bathroom break. Case I still get nervous about my streams beforehand too. Just be willing to go with the flow, and you should be great. Yeah, of course. Cammy said the most I've had is 5 people. When I was doing test streams to work out bugs, I had a wonderful chat. Muted. Been there, done that. And Katie's agreeing. Everyone's done that, has had that moment, and says you'll be fine. Yeah, exactly. Cammy says, my problem is I'm fine not talking, which isn't very keep the energy going. And a shock because I chat so much in the chat. Nothing wrong with that. All right. You'll do fine, Cammy, I promise. It's all good.
And I feel like since, I don't really know Cammy very well, I could like ask her all the questions as if I don't know anything about her or her channel or like whatever. Yeah. And people would be believable. It's not like I'm like interviewing my kids or my husband and asking questions I already know the answer to for the sake of filming. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Yeah, that's exactly right. Don't know why it lowered us. It's different. Anyways, I'm gonna call it that. That was the last sprint.
Me
because
too.
of the fact that I would like to get a little bit of sleep before the stream call starts. And I'm not even certain I'm going to be at the opening ceremony. I would like to be, but let's be real. I don't know if I will be. Kimmy says, believe it or not, I'm a pretty quiet person and says that Kimmy will be fine. Kimmy says, promote the others. Woo!
She made this handy dandy like spreadsheet that has like people's names.
She did. Give me a second.
Yes, we will enjoy our naps.
Why is this taking so long? There it goes. Okay. There we go. Kimmy made this handy dandy spreadsheet. I'm going to put it in the comment section. Wait, before I put it in the comment section, Kimmy, are we allowed to share this in the comment section?
Yes.
I feel like we are. Because it's just links to everyone's streams today and tomorrow.
Waiting for the comments to catch up or come through on Restream.
Yeah. Kay is agreeing that the spreadsheet is awesome. And Cammy says, I'm glad it's so unliked. Anything to avoid my own life test. Procrastination at work. All right, yes, it should be fun. Awesome, cool. So,
Yay.
Jenna has the schedule with the links to everyone's channel and who's co-hosting with said people. But this one is just like everyone's links, no matter what they are.
Like Linktree or a website or shop or Facebook page or an Amazon page.
Links. There we go. There's that one, and then I'll go ahead and share the schedule that
That Jenna made.
Yeah, that I can no longer think and do things at the same time. And my computer's now running slow for some reason I haven't figured out.
Oh.
It's probably done with me. It's like, girl, you've been on way too long. Go to bed. That's my computer talking to me. Girl, what are you still doing awake?
Because your computer's from California, apparently.
It says, girl, it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. You should be asleep or at work. Pick one.
I'm working at going to sleep. How's that?
Mm-hmm. Sweet treat schedule sheet. Boop. There we go. All right. That is all the links that I have. There's probably more links. I just don't have them off the top of my head. I think there is even playlist is linked in the Sweet Treat schedule, which I need to update my description on my my stream because I do not have the playlist listed. I don't think I have the schedule listed. Like I just need to straight up update my description of my stream. That's the word I'm looking for. She's crikey.
Oh yeah, she made like another one that had like bingo swears and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. There's a bingos. There was another thing that was in that folder too.
The ebook, the
recipe book.
The recipe.
What else was in that? Shared with me.
Bingo cards that you attended. Let's see.
Badges. Okay, so badges, bingo cards, the ebook for the recipe books, and then the graphics for any social media for sharing and stuff like that. So I need to update my description with all that information.
Yeah, the only one I don't have is the badges and stuff, the social media things, the last one. Oh.
Sorry, I'm replying real quick to a message before I forget because I tend to do that. I'll read messages and then I forget to reply, and then when the person messages me back, being like, "Hey, you never got back with me. Are you ignoring me?" I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." So I try to answer right away because I will unintentionally ignore your messages.
So I don't understand Cammy's comment. It says, "Thanks for your reminder. I'll go send that link, sort of, if I can use Discord for more than one co-host if needed." I don't like.
What are you using to stream with?
Yeah, let's go with that one, Cammy.
Because StreamYard allows you to stream with several people. Restream allows you to stream with up to 5 people. Or are you streaming through Discord? If you are streaming through Discord, yes, you can have more than one person. I just don't remember how to do it.
I didn't know you could stream through Discord.
Yes, you can. I discovered that when doing a lot of OBS research, there was a lot of videos that were like, how to add guests to OBS and Discord. I'm like, wait, what? I didn't even know you could stream through Discord. So,
I'm okay not knowing how to do that. It's fine.
Streamlabs allows you to stream with a few people, but not sure how many. Same with OBS. Yes. I was testing OBS before I switched to Restream, but because there's such a learning curve with OBS, I do want to use OBS in the future because I actually like it better than Restream as far as like the chat purposes go. However, it works for now with what I'm doing and with the fact that we were trying to pull off these 2 events, the 7-Day Book Challenge and Streaming Daily versus also the Alpha Tube Sweet Treat stream call this weekend. So I will be going back to OBS soon though because I do like it. I just have to play around with it as far as the guest option goes and figure that out behind the scenes before we can go live with it. Okay, so Cami is using Streamlabs. It's just one on the free account. Okay. I did not know that. That's good to know about Streamlabs.
Didn't know that either. Obviously, if Heather is already going to be on your stream, Cammy, then I don't have to be. So you don't have to stress about having more than one co-host.
If Streamlabs will let me share Discord, I can do video chats through that. Yes. I believe, like I said, I believe you can, but I am not positive about that. The ability to have guests on a free account was why I switched to Restream. And StreamYard also lets you do that, but you only have so many hours you can stream for free with guests, with anyone actually.
Yeah, it's 20 hours of 20 hours at StreamYard. Yep. You only have up to 6 people on the screen. OBS is I think 5 on the screen, and Restream is like 5 as well. Mm-hmm. But unlimited hours of streaming, so.
Which was why we switched for this event.
Yeah.
Kay says, yeah, the most you're paying for with Streamlabs Ultra is the guest count using their scenes and music. Okay, that makes sense.
In the kitchen, you're so loud. Oh goodness.
You want ice cube?
No, I don't need ice cube. Thank you.
I can show you.
See, if I were to say something like that to my husband, he was like, "Oh, I'm loud, huh? I can be louder," and he would get louder.
He's done that.
Okay. Cami said, I watched videos. I like the design elements of Streamlabs more than OBS. So I've gone with the labs. I don't blame you. Like, Streamlabs was definitely, like, one of the things I was looking at. What? StreamYard only lets me have one as well and 30 minutes of streaming. Oh, they must have changed some of their stuff then. Yeah, Labs is so much easier. It's the much easier version of OBS. Interesting.
Huh.
Sorry, my mind went back to the StreamYard thing with the interesting comment, not the Labs is much easier than OBS.
Yeah, no, I know what you meant.
Jumping conversations. in my head already. Huh.
Interesting.
Someone to talk. Oh no, she has the paid version.
Who has the paid version of what?
Sam has the paid version of Streamlabs. Cammy says, I honestly don't know if
she's
will
in
because
Florida.
She might not have time.
So Heather lives in Florida.
Yeah.
So that
she's
is
on the
literally,
Eastern Time Coast.
Yeah.
Just had that schedule open. I wasn't even paying attention to times. I swear I know what I'm doing. I promise I know what I'm doing. Maybe it's kind of, sort of, not exactly. Never.
Make it till you make it. And you know what I told someone else, and I told Cammy this, I think, one time I said, if you are nervous about streaming on your own, just pretend you're telling your toddler how to wash their hands properly or telling your teenager how to clean their room, because you get a response from either one. And it's a perfect one-sided conversation. So you pretend you're talking to your kids, and you'll be fine talking. And then when a comment comes through, you're like, oh, wow, they do listen. And then you answer the comment, and then you go on talking as no one's there.
Okay. Okay, Cammy says, I honestly don't know if she will because she might not have time for that early. Okay, I read that one already. But I don't want to work out these bugs during the stream. Cammy says, you don't need it, but what about wanting it? I want lots of things. It doesn't mean I'm going to get them. That being said, it's time to go to bed because I just did the math in my head, and the opening ceremony starts in less than 2 hours. So for me, because it starts at 5:30.
That is true. Nope, it starts at 5. Oh, the opening chat starts at 5, doesn't it? And then the opening stream is at 5:30.
6, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Shall you go first, or shall I?
You should.
Okay. For anyone still around, my name is Stephanie. I write primarily small town romances with no nakedness on the page, so they're for everyone. I'm currently almost finished writing my next grand small town romance for you guys to read eventually when I share it. I make videos. I participate in the 7-day book challenge, and you'll see me a couple times this weekend for the AuthorTube Sweet Treat Stream Crawl. There it is. It's the only time you'll hear me say it correctly. Have a great day. Again.
All right. Thank you all for joining me tonight or this morning, because for some people it's already morning time. We'll be back in a couple hours. I will be back only in chat form, not in video form for a while. And yeah, we're going to participate in the AuthorTube Sweet Treat Stream Call and do lots of things. If you don't know, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name of SD Hegyes. I'm working on a paranormal romance novella, and it's going well. But I'm not as far as I would like to be. I'm not as close to being finished as I would like to be. And yeah. That's all I got. There's probably more I should be saying, but my brain is dead. I need a nap. We're going to take off. Nap time, guys. Nap time. Nap time. Last comments real quick before we disappear. I see Cammy said, nope, sorry. Kay said, that's an excellent way to look at it, Stephanie. And then she said, I'll have to remember that. And then Cammy said, oh, Lord, now I might have to talk about how to properly wash the dishes. And Kay cannot wait for the stream crawl to start. And that's only in a couple hours from now. The links are in the comments. They should be in the description too, but now I don't know if they are. So
let's all power nap and then get ready for our day.
Yep, let's do this. So you guys have a good one, and we'll see you all real soon.